To enhance the parking experience in several busy areas in Oranjestad, paid parking has recently been implemented as a solution to the lack of available parking spaces. For more information on tariffs and where to buy the smart card, please visit the Aru parking page. Bus service all along the hotel strip. The fare is $2.30. There is bus service every 15 minutes from 5:45 a.m. until 6 p.m. Buses then run every 40 minutes until 11:30 p.m. The central bus station in downtown Oranjestad is located across the road from the cruise terminal next to Royal Plaza. With these tips, you're now ready to enjoy our island to the fullest. Remember to be safe and explore!
Estás disfrutando de Aruba.tv. Todo una isla por un solo canal.
Just in case if you're afraid of heights or claustrophobic, I do not recommend you to do this, but if you want to fight your fears, you're more than welcome. So while you're up there, I recommend you to hold your hats if you guys have hats and glasses, and if you're taking a phone, yes, hold it pretty good. Alright, and the whistle you hear right now is actually the wind. There's no spooky, so I recommend you to get your phone out and record all the way to the top, because the whistle is actually the wind blowing 30 to 40 miles an hour. Sometimes you can even find it to 45 miles an hour. Why not visit the lighthouse? You guys must visit it because within less than 2 minutes, you'll be standing on the third highest point on the island. One of the third highest point actually of the island. Apart of that, the wind up there is actually windy. You can sometimes not even talk. If you see how many years it took to build the lighthouse, the work it took to make the lighthouse, it's actually building history already. begin with the name, it's actually after a shipwreck, the Lighthouse the California SS ship. So they named the lighthouse after that. So California Lighthouse. And a part of that, the purpose is for the light to navigate the ships around the island, so they can see it 30 kilometers away if they're close by the land. This one time, a visitor came with the ashes of his beloved one, in remembrance of what the lighthouse and Aruba meant for them. So many couples come to propose up there at the lighthouse because from above there the view is beautiful. So if you see somebody goes down to the knee with a ring for you and asks you for marriage, it's actually everybody will be clapping hands up there and everybody knows. So that's our catchy moments in living. I recommend you guys to come and visit the California Lighthouse early in the morning because it's not busy and the wind is still cold that time. Or if you guys have in mind something else, I'll recommend come for sunset, guys. You'll see the sunset. It's a beautiful view up there, and still the wind is all the time there too for you guys.
You are watching Aruba.tv, a whole island on one channel.
First, Aruba is a great island for food. There is so much to choose from here. You can't go wrong, you know, and it's one of the, I think it's one of the best places for restaurants. I don't even know how many. They say one time there's over 200, probably more now, because every year it's almost hard to keep up with all the restaurants opening. And I guess it just has a very high standard of food. I think it's because, I was here in the 80s as well. I worked here in the 80s. There was a lot of Swiss, German chefs, French chefs on the island. And a lot of these people, a lot of the people, they worked for all these highly trained chefs. So over the years, they've learned a lot, and the cuisine has gone way up, and now there's a lot more Aruban chefs too. The food is really international, but with a Latin, local Caribbean flair, I would say. I used to say it's a clash of cultures, but it's a good clash, you know? It's like, and one thing about how the cuisine kind of developed for me is in the kitchen. Like I remember at one place I was working, like 27 different nationalities. So they all like to have their own little food, you know? So I would let everybody cook their own food for their own meals, like the Haitians, the Dominicans, the Arubans, the Peruvians, the Colombians. So we would eat all these things, and then I would take those and make something with them. It's kind of like, I call it elevating, you know, the local food to 5-star status. I did a dinner in New York once for the James Beard House for Aruba, and we took this thing it was like carne moula, ground conch meat, but you know, from conch and spices, and I stuffed it into a filet mignon and put some cream in there, and so that's just an example of how we take the local ingredients and make them 5-star. think food comes from necessity. They say necessity is the mother of invention. And with food, it's definitely, you use what you have available. It's like what's available on the island: coconut, mango, fish, iguanas, whatever. That's what people had to cook with, and that's what they used. Each island is a little different, I think, so now I travel a bit, and Curacao has some things that are different than Aruba. Bonaire has some things that are different than Curacao. There's another, like New Orleans, is very similar to Aruba, because New Orleans has Caribbean, African, Spanish, but we have the Dutch and New Orleans has the French. So 4 of the 5 components of Cajun cooking is similar.